Welcome to Sportpen.
Great to be here.
Let's journey back, shall we? Back to the electrifying 1980s Bay Area. The San Francisco 49ers.
Ah, yes.
They weren't just, winning games. They were really crafting a legend.
Absolutely. A dynasty.
We're diving deep today.
Yeah.
Looking at those pivotal moments, the sheer grit, and those unforgettable plays that forged that dynasty.
It begs the question, what does it take?
Exactly. What makes a team transcend just being good or even great and become, truly iconic? That's what we want to explore.
Well, it's a heck of a transformation story, isn't it? Because if you looked at the Niners before 1980, totally different scene.
Oh, yeah.
Candlestick Park wasn't, let's say, the most happening place. Lots of empty seats.
You're not kidding. But then, like a switch flipped, end of the decade, they've racked up, over 100 wins.
Yeah, 104-47-1 between 80 and 89. Just incredible.
That kind of turnaround doesn't just happen. So where did it start? Where were the seeds planted for this thing?
You got to look back to the late 70s. Critically, January 79, hiring Bill Walsh.
Right, the coach.
Head coach and general manager. That dual role, giving one person that kind of control, pretty rare. And Walsh, local guy, had success at Stanford. He was set up to implement a real vision.
Okay, Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd taken them to bowl games, got them ranked. So you'd think, okay, coach comes in, inherits the worst team in the league.
You think top draft pick, right?
Exactly. Prime position. But something complicated that.
Oh, yeah. That earlier O.J. Simpson trade, it seemed like a big deal at the time, star power and all that.
Sure.
But the fallout was, well, they sent a bunch of high draft picks over several years to the Buffalo Bills.
Ouch.
So even finishing dead last in 78, that number one overall pick in the 79 draft, nope, wasn't theirs.
Wow. Talk about curveball. So instead of a clear shot at the top guy, what happened? Lots of speculation.
Tons of it locally, especially about quarterback. Would Walsh go for Phil Simms, Steve Fuller? He actually worked them out.
He did?
Yeah. And there was his own guy from Stanford, Steve Dills. He was in the conversation too. The buzz must have been pretty intense.
I bet. So Walsh arrives, the speculation's flying. Then training camp, summer 79.
Yep, Santa Clara University. That was it. Rookies, free agents, the official start, boots on the ground, of the Bill Walsh era. First real glimpse of his plan in action.
But it wasn't like instant magic, right? Even with Walsh there, that climb.
Yeah.
It took time. 1980, they were still under .500.
That's right, 6-10. And if you look at the stats, the offense was, middle of the pack maybe, 12th in yards, points.
But the defense.
Oof. Yeah, ranked way down, 26th, 27th. The dynasty we remember definitely hadn't arrived just yet.
It's a good reminder, isn't it? Even the best plans, the best coaches, they need time. Things need to gel. Talent needs to develop.
Exactly. But even in that 80 season, you saw flashes, right? Earl Cooper was really good, led the team in rushing and receiving.
That's unusual.
Yeah. And you had Dwight Clark, Freddie Solomon emerging as receivers. And importantly, this young guy, Joe Montana, starting to get some game time. Little preview.
Okay, so the pieces are maybe starting to fall into place.
Yeah.
And then, 1981, boom.
Total turnaround.
13-3, best record they'd ever had at that point.
Yeah.
This team just felt different, built on that short passing game, the West Coast offense. What happened? What flipped the switch so dramatically?
Well, a big part was Walsh's system really clicking, fully implemented. That precision, the timing in the passing game.
Okay.
But you can't discount the defense. Huge improvements there, too. Getting guys like Ronnie Lott. Man, immediate impact. Pro Bowler as a rookie.
Wow, rookie Pro Bowler.
Yeah, in 81, he brought a whole new level of intensity, playmaking ability.
Okay, let's dig into this West Coast offense a bit more. It's so tied to Walsh and that whole era. What was the clear idea?
Think control. Control through short, accurate passes. The idea was move the ball methodically, stretch the defense sideline to sideline.
Keep him guessing?
Exactly. Make them cover everything. This constant pressure, this movement. Eventually, it creates lanes for the run game or openings for deeper shots when the defense gets tired or spread thin. It was about dictating the pace.
So less about the long bomb, more about nickel and diming them down the field, wearing them out.
Pretty much. Consistent gains. And you mentioned Walsh's philosophy, that pass first, run later idea.
Yeah. How did that work?
It was about seizing control early on, move the ball through the air, maybe get a lead. Then you bring in the run game.
Ah, okay.
Kind of serves two purposes, right? Tires out the D even more and lets you control the clock, grind out the win.
And the guy pulling the strings for all this, Joe Montana.
Yeah.
He basically became the West Coast offense, didn't he?
He was the perfect conductor for that orchestra. Just ideal. His accuracy, obviously, but also his smarts, reading defenses so quickly.
And the cool hit.
Oh, the composure under pressure. It was tailor-made for Walsh's complex plays. He wasn't just completing passes. He was operating the whole system, like, flawlessly.
And that system started producing results. Big time. Super Bowl X-Tick, January 82. That was the first one?
The first taste, yeah. But the 80s, they weren't done. Not by a long shot.
No kidding. They came back for more. Super Bowl X-Tick against Miami.
Yep, January 85. Then X3 against the Bengals in 89.
And then X4 just into 1990 against Denver. Smoked them.
Domination. 4 Super Bowls in what? 9 seasons? That's a dynasty, no question.
And Super Bowl XT, the Miami one, that was special too, wasn't it? First one ever hosted right there in the Bay Area.
Yeah, Stanford Stadium. Imagine the buzz for the local fans. Must have been incredible.
Plus, didn't that kind of kick off a trend in the Super Bowl? Like conference dominance.
It really did. That game sort of marked the start of a long run where the NFC teams just handled the AFC teams in the Super Bowl for years.
Interesting. Okay, so beyond the X's and O's, the strategy.
Yeah.
It sounds like the culture Bill Walsh built was just as important.
Oh, absolutely critical. It wasn't just having talent. It was how they operated day in, day out.
What do you mean?
Walsh was obsessed with what he called the standard of performance. This wasn't just game day stuff. It was everything. How you practiced, how you showed up for meetings, attention to the tiny details.
Like what kind of details?
Oh, specific rules about like how quickly you got lined up in practice, punctuality for everything, all designed to build discipline, this commitment to doing things the right way. He truly believed if they nailed the process, the wins would follow.
Focus on the process, not just the outcome.
Exactly. And he was big on empowering leaders within the team too, not just him dictating everything.
And the owner, Eddie DeBartolo Jr., he seemed to play a big part in that atmosphere too. More than just signing checks.
Oh, definitely. DeBartolo created this almost family feel. Players really felt he cared about them, not just as football players, but as people, looking out for their families, that kind of thing. It created a really strong bond.
That's huge. And you can't talk 80s Niners without the icons.
Yeah.
Montana, obviously. But then Jerry Rice comes along later.
And just takes it to another level. Rice joining that team. Game changer. His work ethic was legendary, right?
Off the charts, apparently.
Unbelievable talent, obviously, but that dedication made him the perfect weapon for Montana in that offense, that connection they had, Montana to Rice. Maybe the best ever.
Hard to argue. Let's jump to the 88 playoffs. It felt like they hit another gear then, just rolled through teams.
Yeah, that run was something else. The wins against Minnesota and Chicago, they weren't just wins. They were statements. Pure dominance.
And Montana.
He was unconscious, just operating on a different plane through those 88 playoffs and carried it right into 89. The stats are ridiculous. Completion percentage through the roof, touchdown after touchdown. And get this, 0 interceptions in those playoff games across 88 and 89.
0 picks in the playoffs.
Wow. Incredible.
And the Super Bowl XC3, the win over... Oh, that was Walsh's last game, right? You retired.
He did. Stepped away right at the top.
You'd think, okay, maybe that's the end of the run.
Yeah.
But nope.
Nope. And that just shows how strong the foundation was, right? George Seifert, the defensive coordinator, steps up.
Seamless transition.
Pretty much. Takes over as head coach. They go 14-2 and then absolutely demolish Denver in Super Bowl X4. Record-setting win.
So back-to-back Super Bowls with 2 different head coaches.
Yep. Only team ever to do that. Speaks volumes about the organization Walsh built.
And that 89 team often gets called one of the most dominant ever.
Hard to argue with that either. Look at the playoff margins. They won those 3 games, divisional, conference championship, Super Bowl by a combined 100 points.
100 points. That's just insane.
Just crushing everybody.
Yeah, we got to talk about fans, too. The faithful. That nickname is so linked to this era. Where did that loyalty come from?
Well, yeah, the 80s cemented it, obviously, with all the winning. But the name, the idea, it really started back in the tougher times, the 70s.
The lean years.
Exactly. Those were the fans who stuck around when things weren't great, when the seats were empty. So that loyalty was already there, and then it just exploded during the Montana years. It created this incredible connection.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting, too, hearing about the off-field stuff like that fishing derby Walsh started. Seems kind of quirky for an NFL team.
It does, right. But that annual trip to Sierra College started in 81. It was totally Walsh's idea. It became a real tradition.
Why? Team bonding?
Yeah, exactly that. Get the guys away from football, relax, build camaraderie. It just shows Walsh understood that building a champion wasn't only about what happened between the lines or in the meeting rooms. It was about the relationships, too.
We've talked so much about the offense, and deservedly so. It's revolutionary. But the defense, Sometimes feels like they get overshadowed a bit.
That's a really fair point. I mean, the West Coast offense was so new, so captivating, it grabbed all the headlines.
Understandably.
But those 80s defenses, they were consistently really, really good, often near the top of the league in points allowed. You had studs like Ronnie Lott, Keena Turner anchoring things. They were tough.
So maybe just overshadowed by the offensive fireworks.
I think that's probably it. The offense was just such a story. But yeah, the D was a huge part of that success too.
So looking back at the whole decade,
Yeah.
the 1980s Niners, it really was this perfect storm, wasn't it?
Yeah, convergence, like you said, visionary coach in Walsh, this unique owner-fostered culture from DeBartolo, incredible talent, Montana, Rice, Lott.
And just this underlying commitment, this standard of performance.
Right, across the board. It's why they didn't just win one, but sustained it. It's a formula people still look at today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Their ability to keep winning, even through a coaching change, adapting.
Yeah.
It just speaks to how solid that foundation was. The stories, the moments, the players still resonate.
Totally. They really set a benchmark for greatness.
And thinking about it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are those essential pieces that turn a good team into a true dynasty? Is it just stacking talent? Or is it more about the culture, the leadership, the innovation, maybe even more critical?
It's the million-dollar question in sports, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, how does one incredible decade like that just shape everything for a franchise? Its whole identity, the fans' identity, for generations after.
Those are the big questions, right? The legacy questions that teams like the 80s Niners leave us with. A fascinating case study in greatness.
Definitely something to chew on. Well, this has been great.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Sportpen.